Yeet!
And since he has Lord,
I
have to
have
worry about low
stopped
strength
watching
ships.
Once Upon a Time.
Real
But,
yeet!
But yeah, like, RNG is technically built
He
in
would
every JRPG. It's just, don't let your game become RNG will ruin the experience. Because, whatchamacallit, yeah. And here's, like, again, I talked about it, is like, part of the reason why 2's development is absolutely crazy and bonkers, and why, like, certain characters literally never finished their models. They're wearing, like, Organization 13 freaking coats in, like, flashback
Nintendo
cutscenes
interfered, as they tend to do.
Yeah. Basically, Monolith was making the Breath of the Wild, and that thing came out. Why is there a jet in the courtyard of our Chinese Buddhist temple?
You don't want to know.
Crazy, I'm sorry.
I want to hitch a ride.
I'll be right back.
Alright, bro, let's go.
Okay. Anyway, actual gamer news. On the topic of Nintendo. Bayonetta 3. It exists! It exists! As we all saw, as the director, commented. It's real, we don't have to worry. The fun thing about Bayonetta 3 is he said that Bayonetta 3 is actually in the home stretch of development. It means they're almost done, which means that 2022 release date that they gave it is probably real. If it's almost done. However, I don't think people realize this. I think it's been so long since we've had a Bayonetta game. People don't know what Bayonetta is.
Oh god, yeah.
To refresh, Bayonetta is a Nintendo exclusive. It always has been.
Oh god, yeah.
Bayonetta, because when they were trying to make it, only Nintendo jumped in.
Which is weird, because
to help fund the game. Family. To help fund it. It was only Nintendo jumped in to help them fund it, and as a result, it became, a Nintendo exclusive. Yeah. I think people don't realize this, because it's been too long since we had a Bayonetta game. But it is, indeed, still a Nintendo exclusive, but the director actually commented, because enough people were bothering him on Twitter about it. First of all, he said, it's still a Nintendo game. Nintendo gets the final say of if it gets to go anywhere else, which means it's not going anywhere else. You guys, it's Nintendo. It's stuck on the Switch. But, said that if fans want it to go to different consoles, they have to go to Nintendo, not to him. Shift the blame. It's not his choice, and it's really not. I mean, they are the ones funding, and they've always been the ones funding the projects. This is why Bayonetta 1 and 2 are on whatever Nintendo devices Bayonetta 1 and 2 are on. I'm not even sure. I'm not a big Bayonetta person. It shouldn't come as a surprise. It's a Nintendo game. I don't play Nintendo that often.
I never owned a Wii, so... I played a Wii. But I never owned one. So,
But, it's still a Nintendo game, and so he was like, if you wanted to go somewhere else, please go bother Nintendo about it. Bring those complaints to them, not to me. I was like, rude. But I feel like it's not the people's fault for not, it's like people didn't realize Bayonetta's not a Square Enix game, because Platinum is its own company. Bayonetta...
It's just been so long.
Bayonetta 2. When did Bayonetta 2 come out? I'm actually curious.
Bayonetta 2 recently got a remake, so it's a bit fresher than...
it came out in 2017 for the Wii U.
Yeah.
That would be the problem. It did later get a Switch version. It later got a Switch version a few years ago. Yes, there would be the problem. It was for the Wii U.
There's been a huge, kerfuffle of, Wii U games that should come over. Whatchamacallit? Trying to remember. Xenoblade X, for example, never left the Wii U, and people have been crying for it forever. Or Prime Trilogy. Prime Trilogy is only on the 2009
game Bayonetta. Now, it's funny, because Bayonetta, the original, actually had been on the 360 and PlayStation 3, as well as the requisite PS4, Xbox One ports. However, that's because Sega had funded it, and then after Sega stopped funding it, Bayonetta 2 and 3 are just Nintendo now, because Nintendo was like, we got your back. Sorta. Somewhat? Kinda.
Probably.
Maybe. Here's some money. Try to work with it. Also, you can announce your video game, but you can't show it for 4 years.
Also, I have a question. Do I seem laggy to anyone?
No, you don't seem like it to me. 4 score and 7. No, wait, we can't do that. We need to memorize Shakespeare.
Hear ye, hear ye.
I tried to bribe her with treats, and she came under the out from under the bed. But then when I went to go pet her, she went back under the bed. She doesn't like me anymore.
I can only guess why.
Anyway, we're talking about Bayonetta, Sinky. You shouldn't. Do you even know anything about Bayonetta?
She's cool and she's in Smash, and she used to be broken.
Darn right.
Kristen, I've played it.
No, it was a
I haven't
legitimate
finished
question.
it because it's
It was a
super
legitimate
complex.
question. Because
But yeah.
Bayonetta 1 was on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo. But 2 is only on Nintendo. Well, it was for the Wii U, but now it's on Switch. And for you also.
Really, I actually didn't know that.
Exclusivity. You might go, wow, why? Because Sega funded the first one, but Sega then did not fund the second one. Only Nintendo did this, and it was exclusive to Nintendo, wherever
Which is weird.
Nintendo
It's not
wanted
an
it.
exclusive due to it being like a contract
It's
thing.
an
It's just that
exclusive
no
just
one
because no one else wanted
Anyway,
to fund it.
hello everybody,
Which is
welcome.
weird,
I know
because
I'm
everyone
streaming
I've
really
heard
late.
who's played Bayonetta loves Bayonetta.
I mean, I'll tell you, it's a really good game if you can get the hang of it and if you get it. It's a really good game.
Like, I hear the one it's most similar to is Dante's Games,
Yeah, Devil
Yeah,
May
it's
Cry.
a hack and slash. It's an adventure hack and
Yeah.
slash, and it's really fun.
and it's made by Platinum, who are the masters of hack and slash.
Hack and slash champions right there. Hack and slash champions, but yeah, because it's been so long since we've had a Bayonetta game that it's been a while. That fans were asking why Bayonetta 3 wouldn't go anywhere else, so the director calmly explained that it's a Nintendo exclusive. They are the ones funding the project. They are the ones who say where it gets to
I'll
go.
pay for
And the director for Bayonetta 3 said that if fans want to see it go anywhere else, they shouldn't take those to him. They should take those complaints to Nintendo, because he doesn't have a say. Well, he really doesn't. I mean, I'm sure he would love to spread it onto other consoles, but, money. And Nintendo and money.
My cat
I mean, I'm
hates
sure
me.
it's a fantastic game series. I'm sure it is, and I'm sure it's really fun. And I'm just happy to see Bayonetta fans weren't forgotten after all.
Oh, dang it, I should have had.
I just don't have it.
I just can't believe the cat hates me. Like, now
kicked
she
her in
won't
the
ever
face.
headbutt me. I mean, better or worse. But, you know.
She'll get over it. Anyway, Bayonetta.
Good.
Bayonetta gamers. By the way, Siki, if you're like, wow, Bayonetta 2, when did that come out? It came out in 2014 for the Wii U.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a while. It later got a Switch version, but did one get a Switch version?
I think it was part of a package deal.
Was it a part of package
I
deal?
mean, I hope.
I would hope so. HJ comments, no surprise that the Nintendo version, Switch version did much better than the Wii. It's almost like,
Wait.
oh yeah, it was. Yep, warning. That's a question. What are you playing?
No,
Square button.
it was lagging, that's why I wasn't getting out.
I mean, the answer changes depending on what game you're playing.
Halo.
Yeah, do you hate me?
What question? What
Do you
button
hate
do I
me,
use to
puppy?
flip the warthog?
I hate myself.
Anyway, Overwatch 2 it still exists. Surprise. Face.
More on fire.
They actually revealed some character info
There
yesterday.
we go!
I have something interesting to share. Tinky, you know the character Bastion,
Yes,
The
I
robot.
do.
the robot.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
in Overwatch 2, he is losing his self-repair and tank mode.
So,
However,
like, what's the point?
get this. Get this. Get
He gets
this.
smarter.
He gets to wear a hat.
Ah, yes.
All makes up for it.
Too. Gave in, he take it.
But
No!
Overwatch 2 Bastion loses self-repair tank mode, gains a hat, which is very clearly the important factor here, is you get to wear a hat. No, that's not how it works. Oh, okay.
Give and giveth, give and taketh.
I
What?
cannot believe I kicked my cat.
I
Probably
can't
shouldn't
believe
say
you
that
did
on
Yeah,
stream.
me too.
Okay.
It was not serious for all
No, she's
sanity
totally fine.
lossy.
And the thing is, I just like tapped her too.
It wasn't like a smack.
It was
Oh
just
God.
Crazy was
Guys,
trying to
one
show
of our
love.
helicopter
She was
footage
trying
or
to
one
show
of our
love, and how did I
One
reciprocate
of our
it?
helicopters.
Smack.
Humanity. I feel like I just saw the Hindenburg.
Too
Also,
soon,
where
man, too
was I?
soon.
So. Too soon. Yeah, you're right.
I am not ready to talk about the Hindenburg.
Do it, man.
Funny
scared.
little
It's so funny
story.
that they think they can kill me.
Righty? Deathloop came out.
Deathloop did come out.
Deathloop came out. Haha. No, the voice actor for Colt, aka the main character, actually couldn't play the game because it's PS5 exclusive, and he didn't have PS5. However, someone pitched in, and you want to know who gave him one?
Sony?
Director?
No, Bethesda. So technically Microsoft.
That's really funny.
Okay, yeah.
Microsoft sent him
That's
one.
really
And so
funny.
they sent him a PS5 so he could play the game. Microsoft sent him a PS5 so he could play the PlayStation exclusive.
That is funny.
Nothing like helping each other
Oh, God.
out, right? I mean, obviously. that's
Nothing,
the thing. I mean,
guys.
sometimes you don't
It's
get to play
gamer
it.
news, Catherine. Catherine, okay, do you know Deathloop?
Gamers are real.
Okay, so the actor who played Colt couldn't play because he didn't
Main
have a
character.
PS5 and it's a PS5 exclusive. So Bethesda gave him a PS5, but Bethesda is now owned by Microsoft. So Microsoft gave somebody a PS5.
So Microsoft sent him a PS5.
These are dark times.
You gotta help out people when you can, okay? It's all about helping them when you can.
Help each other out.
Alright, let's see what else we got in the Gamerland.
What are gamers? I don't understand
I'm
this
not sure.
concept.
So where you are, there appears to be enemy soldiers. Attention! We now control objective Charlie.
What the?
People are dying all around me.
Advise we have now lost objective Charlie.
You're restrained? When you're restrained?
I'm very scared for the deaths around me.
Anyways. Okay, that was meant for me. Cape's not enough information. Okay, to the ocean! Why does a minigun take so long to kill a human?
Bravo is now under our control.
This thing shot down a jet.
I'm so startled, guys. I'm so startled! No, I did! We all have to agree.
Hey, Yar, go down with the ship! Oh, that's what I wanted you to think. Oh, wait, you guys couldn't have killed those guys a second later. I lost my AA tank. No. But anyways, so yeah, you heard my rant about 2 and how it's whackness.
Wait, are you guys both playing Battle now?
Yeah.
Not in the same map.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to play with him.
Just usually like.
Objective Delta.
But anyways.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! So during graphic design, we had to draw leaves, outside.
Right,
So I was
got
sitting on a
leaves with,
bench.
like 5 points on it. Many qualities.
I was
it
sitting on a bench, okay? And one of my classmates was like, "Can I sit by you?" And I said, "No."
Nope.
And she was, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want you sitting by me." And she goes, "Oh, okay. Don't know why you're such in a bad mood." And I was like, I'm kidding. You can sit down." "Oh, really?" "Yes, go ahead." Sorry, my sarcasm.
Day one hostile.
My sarcasm was a bit too strong there, huh?
They might start crying, Caitlin. Yes, that is true. And then I actually don't know what to do. Stop crying, you baby! Or they might try to kill me.
If only my lock-on missiles could lock on to people. I mean, they have heat signatures.
Like, Cynthia
I
might
could
die
destroy-
because I was sarcastic to the wrong person.
I mean, that could destroy the
Oh,
random
okay, so
infrastructure
Kristen, if I
within
die, alright, we have a thing. If I die, Kristen, you have to bring the squishies, to the funeral. You know what squishies I'm talking about.
Of course I do.
Disabled? That's a... What kind of jet skis are these things made of? I shot a jet ski with a triple
And so then Caitlin gonna be
experimental-
dancing on my grave. At least I got my squishies!
And the jet ski was just disabled.
At least I got my squishies!
Whatever technology they have, I want in.
At least I got my
But anyways,
squishies.
so
Oh, you having fun there,
you know
Shaky?
how I ranted
My
about how Xenoblade 2 was whack,
squishies, my squishies.
and how she ranted about her squishies.
Squishies.
Thinky. You good there?
My squishies.
Dang
I
it!
just drove by a guy in a jet
One
ski.
more time!
The hood waits for no
Okay, I
one.
actually have a fun fact, or a fun history thing that no one's gonna get, because none of us know anything about the UN General Assembly.
Okay, alright,
Alright,
hit me up, hit me up, hit me up.
Space Corps.
So the UN General Assembly is currently ongoing.
Yes.
Till tomorrow, I think.
Okay,
Hang on.
I am following so far, Kristen.
That's it.
Tengu?
So, yeah, hang on. I said, hang on. Let me get the date.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the hang on. So the Kristen, what
I
about
gotta
the
make
UN?
sure I get the date right. I don't want to mess this up. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So every year since the 10th General Assembly, which was in 1995, Brazil has been the first country to address the delegation. Why?
It has to return. The Olympics? That's my guess.
Nope.
No.
Damn it.
Okay.
Ever since 1995, Brazil has been
95.
first. U.S. has been second. Everyone else has been mixed and matched the rest of the time. But why is Brazil always first?
To
Because
burn
they
down the
provide
Amazon?
most of the oxygen
Soccer?
that we use. No. Okay. Wait. No. I actually want to try to figure this out.
But true.
Okay. Wait. Okay. All right. Is
The
it
Amazon
like
burning.
Brazil?
Will it be something that you could guess,
1995.
or is
There
it completely
there is a
completely
reason.
unreal?
There is, yes. You could probably guess this one. You could probably guess it. Ever since
Most-
1995, Brazil has been the first country to speak.
No,
What?
not population.
Think relationships with other countries.
Because they're
It
friends with
needed to
everyone.
invade Portugal.
So,
are they neutral to
it's something
everyone?
like that. It's because they're neutral. Because after Cold War era, no one go first because they were afraid of what that might do. So Brazil offered to go first because they have no real standing with anyone and will kind of just do whatever they want,
Brazil.
which
follows
then led to Brazil always
going.
being first.
Yeah, I just-
Brazil
who
has
cares
always
about
been
school?
first ever since then.
So you're telling me Brazil is just the blue shells from what do you
It's
call it?
because they are just this neutral-esque, and because
that
everyone
makes
was
a lot of
afraid of
sense, but
if
then I'm
the
like,
U.S.
are there
went
other
first, they were
neutral-
afraid
I mean,
of
there
what
has
that
to be
would
other
mean.
neutral. But I like my that they provide most of the oxygen that we use.
That is
Well,
valid.
I was going with
That's
the
valid.
other one of they really wanted to burn down the Amazon.
But
had to
ever
get
since
permission.
then, here,
No, we can't
so
talk about burning of the Amazon. That makes me really sad.
I can fly.
so it's well, why does Brazil get to speak first?
For some
Yeah,
reason.
Brazil's been the first
actually,
speaker
that's
at the
actually
General
super
Assembly for over 6 decades now. While some assume that the order is determined alphabetically, which also would technically be true, I suppose, but not really. This is not the case. The tradition dates back to the early years of the United Nations, following the formation after the World War II. Most countries were reluctant to speak first in the chamber. Brazil volunteered.
Brazil was like, I volunteer. They volunteered before Katniss Everdeen.
Was it perhaps even a League of Nations? That never
Brazil
failed.
always speaks first now. Ever since
League of Nations did not fail
barely
whatsoever.
date back to
It was
1947,
complete
etc.
success.
The 10th United. Brazil has always gone first. Ever since then, the U.S. always goes second, and then
submarine.
third, fourth, fifth,
'Cause,
etc. Kind
the
of just
US
varies on the
is
year.
number one.
But why does the United States go second every?
Because we're bad.
Every
We're second
time?
best.
Because we're English.
Well,
It's the
because
host
we are,
nation.
I think.
Where does the UN always meet?
Oh, New York. Silly me.
it's always
New York.
in New York. It's always in New York, so we get to go second because we're hosting every single time.
I'm your host tonight.
We always host, so we get to go second.
Host will be
We get to go second. And the rest is just kind of determined by the UN secretaries, etc. Then it kind of just varies every year. But
we've done our job
Brazil
too well.
always gets to
Actually,
go
I
first
do believe
because they
Brazil
volunteered.
has said that they're doing a whole lot for global warming, and everyone's like, "Are you though? Are you?"
They're not. But that is why at every General Assembly, ever since the 10th one, Brazil always goes first because they volunteered to do so after no one really wanted to because they were afraid of what would happen if someone actually spoke first. And Brazil was like, hey, I'm neutral, so why don't I go first? And the US is like, what if I go second because y'all are in my country?
Because y'all are
So
in
this
my
way
country.
I can say I went first, but I didn't. But I can totally say I did.
But that is why Brazil always gets to go first at the the UN's General Assembly.
It's because all of us, in the end, return
Let's return to Brazil.
to Brazil.
We all go back to Brazil. We all everyone can trace their lineage back to Brazil.
Back in the times of Brazil. Brazil happened.
Okay, so there on Pinterest, because I have some historical stuff, there's like this, it's like a poster series of hero or villain. Okay, you know, these figures. Okay, some of them I think like oh my goodness. Susan B. Anthony, there we go. That would have been bad. Susan B. Anthony was one of them, and I was like, okay, whatever. But then you got Christopher Columbus, and I was like, I don't care what good he did. Villain!
I mean, very good if you were an imperialist. So,
And then Cortez? Villain!
oh god, yeah. So I burnt down my own men's ship because even they didn't want to do the work anymore of murdering an entire
Martin
nation.
Luther, depending what religion you are, depending what Christianity you are. Oh, I can't remember who else it was. There were like a couple of them where I was like, what? But yeah, Christopher Columbus, I was like, stop, don't even give me the good. I mean, granted, you want to see
Like,
the both
there's
sides.
actual good figures you could choose, like Louis, King Louis, or like whatchamacallit, Lenin.
I think Elizabeth I was on there. I think that was one of them.
King Henry VI. As much of a meme as he is said as a villain, he actually did make lots of reforms for the Kingdom of England. So,
Y'all
like,
are nerds,
those
and I
are
love
ones where you got, take that, Shakespeare. But anyways.
Sorry, it's not. You're not 9 years old, okay?
I was 9 years
no,
old once.
as soon as you mentioned Shakespeare, I was like, my ego is really down.
She did something we could never do, man.
No, so
We're
I
losers.
asked Courtney. I was like, so what did she do? Because I honestly thought she was going to do Hamlet's lament, monologue. There were a few monologues from Hamlet, and so she picked something from the 12th Night, and I respond, I am so disappointed with myself because I have no idea what that is. I've never read the 12th Night.
I am proud of her. I am proud of her. I'm also a loser, but I'm still proud of her.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. I
Losers,
found them. I
man.
found the
But it's okay. We can be history nerds and
We watch
gamers
enough OSP.
still.
No, but I
Yeah, we'll watch
messaged
enough OSP get by.
her. I was like, that is so cool. Like, and I used multiple O's for.
I mean, I'm
So,
very proud of her.
yeah, so cool.
My ego
And I-
might be
No, that-
destroyed, but I'm
That's
very
not
proud.
sarcastic whatsoever. That's
For you,
actually
man.
really cool. Okay. Oh wait,
I'm
one
very
of
proud
them.
of her. My ego has been destroyed, and I have no life or talents. But you know,
I mean, can my talent be I have no ego?
Wow. Okay. So I have to
been
say.
outdone by a 9-year-old.
First time?
Did you hear? Did
First
you hear Caitlin?
time.
Finish me.
It's so impressive. I
Look,
mean,
it's
like we have
very
to remember who
impressive and very-
her mother is, but and father. Yes, true.
I am very proud
But that
of her,
is
but
so
man,
cool. So
I'm
cool.
very,
And the
very,
thing is,
very
I would bet that she actually probably understood it, or at least to a certain extent.
Me.
I'm
No,
sure
okay.
she did. She's
I
very,
think this
she's
list.
very smart.
Oh, it's U.S. history.
Mine
That's why.
pain.
So I was like, they're all white dudes except for one. Who was Susan B.
Oh,
Anthony?
wait.
Actually, no. I think there was one Native American.
Christopher
yeah.
Columbus.
White
no.
man.
No, Geronimo. Geronimo.
No, Geronimo.
White man.
But why are we even talking about Benedict
No,
Arnold? He
no.
didn't do anything.
Whatchamacallit, the next person, good or evil, General Custer.
Abraham Lincoln is on there though, and I'm like,
That one's debatable.
that one actually is a really good debate. I personally,
On one
well, I
hand,
don't think he's the best president
yeah,
ever.
save the
No,
Union.
you know what?
The other hand.
You could
don't know
argue
good.
he quote unquote freed the slaves, but he didn't.
No,
Yeah.
okay, all right. See that? No, that pisses
He
me
signed a
off.
piece of paper saying they were free, but they really weren't.
That
Yeah, 'cause
pisses
it
me
was
off. Whenever they say he
propaganda.
freed, I'm like, okay, yeah, no.
He was pressured
No,
into
no.
saying he would. He was pressured.
No,
Good.
Mark Thornton used to say that the presidents who were assassinated, besides McKinley, were overrated. And the people who came after them are underrated.
Nixon?
Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson, and see, I don't even know who
Okay.
came after Lincoln.
Man. Person.
That proves the point. That there we go.
White
that proves
old
the point
guy,
right there.
number
White old
17.
dude, number 5.
But no, 'cause next year we need another one.
Can I
Except for
like get
Ryan's.
like
Stereotypical
Also rich.
old
They
dude
have to be rich.
yelling.
Oh, here we go. Alexander the Great.
That's another one. Great for Macedonia. Terrible if you're Persian.
Andrew
And also,
Johnson,
like,
shut up, get out.
He was a great. No.
Genghis Khan. That's actually Genghis Khan is also
Another one.
another one.
Like,
I mean, he was
great for
awful.
Mongolia.
The Mongolians were awful. I mean, it really captures in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Hey man,
'Cause
they
the
were
thing is, the
only awful
Mongolians
if you were against them.
were- Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
No,
Is
that's the
if
thing.
you were with them, you were good. But if you were against them, they'd ruin you.
No, because like the Silk Roads, a massive trade route, was a lot safer after Mongolia or after Genghis Khan took over.
He
Mostly because they
reestablished
killed
it
everyone.
after it was lost.
I mean, he may have committed a little murder to make it safe, but it was
Murder,
safe.
rape, pillage, whatever.
A lot.
Hey, it's
Oh.
safe. That's all that matters.
Granted, until the British Empire, he had the largest empire ever
Yep.
created. Which, Like, we always talk about Alexander the Great, but, like, owning all of
Should
China...
we look at Andrew
Mongolia,
Jackson's failures?
Numerous. Well, technically, he didn't
Do
fail.
we got
He
time to go
all
through
his-
all of those? Do we get time?
fail
You
'cause
want to
he
know
was
one of, because it
successful
says
in his evil.
feats and failures, okay? Hero or villain. One of Andrew Johnson's Jackson, not Johnson.
Johnson.
Jackson.
Andrew Johnson, I think, is a
Yeah, no, he's...
basketball.
Well, no, Andrew Johnson was a president. No, okay, so one of his feats, he thwarted a would-be assassin by beating him with his cane.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes him a hero.
He was just a man who resorted to violence a lot of
You
times.
are an inspiration to me now.
Actually, I do remember learning about that in A-Push. And there was another caning accident, too.
Another thing is
Not
whatchamacallit, he's
incident,
also one of the first few presidents not to get us into debt. The only reason, though, is because he literally didn't spend any money because he believed the government shouldn't spend money on roads.
Oh, Richard Nixon! Oh, that's nice. Mayor Elizabeth the First.
Kept us out of debt. I didn't spend anything. Thanks.
Elizabeth the First spoke 8 languages. Okay.
Oh yeah, she was awesome.
8 languages fluently.
The Elizabeths have always been great. That's the
Fluently. Okay, ma'am, show off. Show off. But whatever.
For whatever reason, whatchamacallit, like a lot of times with like princesses and queens and stuff, since a lot of them aren't expected to be the monarch, a lot of the time they just use their money to just stay in libraries and study a lot. For example, OSP recovered with that one about that Babylonian princess, or Constantine, or Constantinople princess. Like, she got a lot of stuff done because she read, she got smart, and then she used those smarts.
She got the brain power.
But anyways,
now we have a chance to create what it will be. A place where we can stay
I've been shot
and work the way we want
by the
to.
rooftop campers.
A future
But
that
anyways,
works for all of us. Black. Where the future
Okay, I don't want to know about the slave
Men
ports.
are
No, thank you.
stupid. Females are not.
Men are
That's
stupid,
that's
yes.
Have I
That's
ever?
a-
Am I wrong?
Not all men are
Probably not.
stupid, Kristen. Most men. 95% of the men.
Straight white old men.
yeah, I'll take that.
Well, no, not all of them, Kristen, okay? 90% of
Okay,
them.
fine.
95% will go
Fine,
95%.
99.
I'm getting
Because-
flown circles by one of those expert battlefield
Dang
pilots,
it!
and you know
Look
they're an
there!
expert battlefield pilot because their sticker is literally just a little bird.
In Far Cry 6. Do you know that you're just taking on a...
What was that?
That was Catherine in the background telling Jack to stay.
I'm scared.
That's what you heard. I think. Or you heard a demon? I don't know what.
Senor 6
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die by a plane. Helicopter. I know. I'll save you, my dude. I saved him.
I can tell my things
Tunguska,
apart.
comrade. Or Chinese Tunguska. It's just as good as normal Tunguska.
No, I died. Mobs of New York. I had to look up gangsters in England.
So we got the Shanky boys. They're known for shanking.
Mostly because I had to figure out what crimes they committed in the 1930s. There were some bad dudes. There were some really bad.
Who hit me?
Gosh,
How
diddly
hit me?
doodle doo.
Are you still flying?
Alright. Oh my gosh, this is actually like really cool. Thank you, Pinterest. Pinterest
Pinterest gave us Pinterest. Thank you.
has given me a list of African American inventors. They created the gas
Nice.
mask. I think I knew that.
Anyways, where was I?
Dustpan.
Dust.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Oh my goodness, I have the Gettysburg Address poster up here. Thank you. I don't need that though.
You do.
Fourscore. Okay, a brief history of the witch trials. Do you think this is going to be accurate though? Let's see here. Oh my goodness, it went from the 1300s to the 1600s. Holy crap,
Yeah,
people.
it was.
Okay, at the time dictated. Okay. Good. Does not say anything about burning them. Good, because only like one witch was burned. Witch in quotes.
Darn it. Witching
Heresy.
quotes.
Detective.
See, that's my favorite. Salem witch trials were awful. But just look. Okay, so we're gonna drown you. If you die, you're not a witch. But if you do, you're a witch. Then we're gonna kill you. Oh dang, they drowned. What a shame. They weren't actually a witch.
You die.
Who could have foreseen this?
Die.
Could we have been wrong? No.
The drugs aren't wearing off, no. Also, as a reminder that, whatchamacallit, due to the low quality of water at the times... Nah, Shiza. People were often way more drunker. Also, there were possibilities of that they were literally, like, on some parasite of wheat. Like, wheat bug parasiteness. Also just crazy, but still.
They were genuinely crazy.
Yeah. Because also, it took Massachusetts,
What
like,
do you
200
mean
years
the person
to
that
apologize.
was not a witch died, but they were supposed to live and be a witch so we could kill them?
Mm-hmm. Heresy.
Did that make any sense? No, it did not.
Yes,
Okay.
Comrade Heresy. Oh god, we're being chased by an attack plane, and they're a good one.
So I was looking at the
Godspeed.
hero or villain, Alexander the Great, and he destroyed a whole bunch of places.
Yeah, he really
And
messed
then
up Persia.
like him destroyed a bunch of
And they did
artifacts.
nothing wrong.
And then that just reminded me of the burning of the Library of
Okay, can we
Alexandria.
stop being sad?
It
Okay, okay. I'm
Oh,
trying
that
to
was
get
fun.
positive
Oh,
hour.
it's technically the Christian's fault.
Hey yo!
Let's be happy.
Oh, you thought you could steal a VMP from us, comrade.
Wait! Kristen!
Our communism
Now
is
we
colored.
can say we know who the young, like we can like say like we can use Autumn as like a way to boost ourselves up. We could say, oh well, do
Yeah,
you know
I'm very
the
proud of her.
youngest person, Shakespeare person thingy about her? No, you don't. Well,
proud
I
of
do. Okay,
She's the
I
part
do.
of the Shakespeare Club.
Now we need to mooch off of that money. What
The
we got?
Shakespeare Club. No, apparently, I just want to
Very
see.
good.
I just
Remember?
want to see all the other adults' faces. Because there are people judging her.
I'm
critiquing
sure
her.
that.
And
Yes,
just
yes,
to be in the room
she
where this
she had
9-year-old
the masters. She had to do it in front of the adults.
so cool.
To get in.
But I just love the medal.
Proud of her. I'm proud of her. It's sobbing and I don't have a cool talent.
Kristen, you just gotta get a cool talent.
I can't do anything now, can I? She put the bar too high.
Yeah, how do I? Wait, I gotta ask Mom if she
I-
still loves us. Even though we aren't.
I
Alright,
will
I got this
memorize
guy.
the
His name is
dictionary.
Playz.
I will memorize the
Yes,
dictionary, see, she says.
Oh god. Wasn't it just
Would that
learning the
make me
language?
cool? Would that make me cool?
Okay.
I might
that
be
wasn't
able to
here
say all
before.
the U.S. states in a melody, not by a melody, not a melody. I don't even know if I can do that.
See, I'm not cool anymore. Okay, it's fine. We don't need cool
I
talents.
have
We
somewhat
have each
decent
other.
writing. I have a lot of good stories, I think, unless they're all
I'm
trash
very good at making
compared to
memes.
Shakespeare. No, see, the problem you want to know the problem I have? Is that I love classic literature, okay?
I hate classic literature.
Yeah.
Bronte,
Right.
love her. Dickens, love him. X,
West
Y, and
Dickens.
Z, all of these great authors who I've read often,
Shakespeare.
and I read my work and I'm like, this is awful. Like,
It's
what the
really
heck?
hard to outrun an Apache helicopter in a Jeep, I've noticed.
And then we have
It's
Nathan.
okay, Suki. And then there's
I'm like,
Nathan
this
back
is
there
not at the level of Bronte. We gotta do better, Cynthia.
That's funny.
You're doing a wonderful job, ma'am.
It's the gremlin.
That's
You
a
are
weird name.
doing a wonderful job, I said.
I'm not a gremlin, you're a gremlin. Said the gremlin.
Now, in graphic design, he's going to... Okay, you know what? I have to give kudos to, like, my instructor's not very good, but he asks us questions every day, or every class period, and
I
he
ask
writes
myself
them
the same
down
question every day.
to remember.
God.
And I was like, sir, you
Why?
don't have to do that. When we were going through, like, what our favorite animal was, I said hippo, and he goes, okay, hippo, let me write that.
Word.
It's like, sir, you don't gotta. You know, he's gonna say, did anyone have anything fun happen this weekend? And I'm gonna say, well, not me personally, but my niece.
My niece. Okay.
Conquered Persia at the age of 20.
She can recite Shakespeare.
I'm just.
A rose by any
Okay,
other name is a rose.
Unless it's a wild rose. In which
I
case
think
it's
that's the
bastard.
line. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Something, something, I'm here!
You know what though, some kind of cruel punishment to the innocence of the child. Shakespeare quotes, but you're only allowed to use it from Taming of the Shrew. Traumatize them early. Don't make them
Gotta
great
get them while they're
philosophers.
young. Gotta traumatize them while they're young, right?
So a reminder that Italy in the Renaissance
Renee!
era was very, old-fashioned
No, I died!
and, well, Italian.
What bad did Martin Luther... he left, okay. Questioned whether
Yeah.
Islam was a legitimate religion. Oh, really?
Yeah. That is not cool. Also, I am terrified in this map because we are surrounded by people who are actually good at flying in both helicopters and... whatchamacallit?
You're dead.
Jets. We're surprisingly holding ground by hiding in places where they can't really bombard us. But, anywhere else is there.
Whoa, hold up! Renowned British military surgeon James Barry was a pioneer in his field and enjoyed a celebrated and highly accomplished career for over 50 years. After his death in 1865, it was discovered that he was actually a woman named Margaret Ann Berkeley.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, Nathan, you knew that? Alright, no.
Yeah, and she's one of the head scientist peoples who help with medical stuff.
Wow, Christine.
No,
Wow,
it's,
Christine, did you know that,
also,
though?
What?
I didn't, honestly. Thank you for enlightening me.
You're welcome. Thanks, Pinterest.
But no. You want to know something super interesting?
Oh,
if you
boy.
ever read your scholarly articles,
Yeah.
we always go by last name, and you want to know why.
No.
You
Hit me.
see, due to the great powers of sexism, whatchamacallit, when they see
He's right.
a last name, it's not associated with masculine or feminine, because, well, it's your name. But,
If you go by
whatchamacallit.
first name, you do.
So, in order to
Oh.
prevent people from discounting research projects just because it was written by a woman, they end up, God, this is a god tier pilot. I'm at point blank range and he's dodging my stinger
See,
by hiding
I
underneath
think I
the
knew that,
individual.
but I'm gonna pretend that I didn't. Wow, Nathan, thank you for telling me that.
But,
I had no
why-
idea.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
The more you know. But anyways, I never got to finish my
The
ranting.
more you know.
Ranting. Ranting. And, oh yeah, so, remember, you know how, like, 13 has its problems, and then 13.2 kind of fixed all of them?
Yeah.
Basically, the DLC for Xenoblade 2, which is technically a prologue to the game.
It didn't do anything, did it?
Oh, it did everything. It did everything right, everything
Oh.
greater, characters better. Also, one thing I never got to get to is the really weird voice acting of whatchamacallit Xenoblade 2. Because it's oddly, like, semi-scuffed. And where some characters are really well, for example, like Pyra and Mithra's character. Oh my god, like, amazing performance. And then Rex, who was the main protag. Where did they find this guy? And also, it doesn't help that the direction in some places was terrible, where they literally reused the same line. Like, re-recorded the same line 3 times in a row. Also, I am in an attack heli, and I'm fighting a tank, a little bird expert, and an attack
Christian,
jet.
I think I need to step up my game. Hold on, you'll hear
what
you'll know what I'm talking about after this. Okay, ready? Another fact.
Okay.
When the Emperor Nero began to go nuts, he would stage long singing performance wherein the audience would not be allowed to leave. Women gave birth during these performances, and men would fake their own deaths in hopes of being carried out just so they could get away. So I need to step up my game! You want to hear my story? Alright, well, you can't leave.
There is no escape.
That's right.
But anyways, yeah, the DLC called Torn of the Golden Country, and it's like one of those DLCs, but it's really a whole X-Pack kind of deals. Yeah, it is amazing. So remember how I explained the combat to you earlier? It was kind of whack? Well, okay, I just blew someone up. That was really fun. Hey, we shot down another. Yeah. But, trying to spot people. But anyways, remember how I explained the combat to you and it made no sense? Woo! Okay, I got a good pilot in mind. I feel so powerful.
Heads up, commander online.
Okay, we lost. Anyways, so the combat in Torna works where you remember how I said the blades were basically just like pair-up units who powered up the driver units?
Yep.
Well, the way they did it in Torna is where you could actually switch to the blade units and like fight with them. And it was a huge mechanic because the big issue is if you didn't have like a healer or something, you were kind of just boned. So what it did is, as you're fighting as one type of character, you get something known as, when you take damage, known as, what is it? Like, retainable HP or something? It had a name, but I'm forgetting it. But basically, whenever you switched to the other character, you got the HP back. So you were constantly emphasized to keep switching, and the cooldown was, like, really zippy.
Get in the water, get in the water!
So
Nope, I did not get in the water.
You get to use a lot of characters. Second thing, remember how there was the gacha thing that ruined everything?
Gotcha, ruined everything.
Gone. You have set
Yay!
characters or set units, whatchamacallit, and between each of the characters, and you can still vary it up if you want, but you have every element available to you, meaning that if you just only have fire units, you're not just boned. And then, on top of that, remember how I said, like, it took really long to set up chain attack stuff? Because you'd have to wait till you got your level 3 special to add in the dot, and then, you know, you'd have to do that several times till you got 6 dots for a full burst.
Shut
Well,
up. Hold on.
Hear me out. What if everything on the way to that dot just became its own dot? So if I went fire, ice, ice, or fire, ice, wind, then I got 3 dots instead of just wind. Meaning, between 2 specials, you could get a full chain burst. Basically, the game just went, like, super fast. So it's the difference between, like, playing AR Black Mage and Black Mage on, like, ley lines and triple cast. So you were able to switch characters more frequently, which means you could adapt to more situations. Oh, also, each character got a personal skill. So one of them is where they could, like, by sacrificing their own HP, they could lengthen status ailments. So if you could put someone on basically like stun, then you could just keep sacrificing your own HP to stun lock them. And I'm like, okay, this is really fun. And then yeah, and then another thing is, is since each, you don't have to deal with a gacha, each character is like their own full-fledged character. And like, it's not, oh man, that's a really terrible story. Anyways, you don't do 300 crit damage, but this person does. Get out of my party. So,
No, I
Get
died.
out of my party.
So yeah, you got to actually attach yourself with every one of the characters, and actually the protag of Xenoblade 2, who isn't the person who wields the MacGuffin, Minato, of this game. She's literally just like kind of a mercenary who joins as like a little bit of negotiating technical crime. And yeah, she is the best, like, around. She is extremely wholesome, and I will be sharing art with that later.
Check your map.
She's great. Laura fan, MVP. But anyways, yeah, so the game was way more fun, way more faster, and you got to actually connect with a lot of characters. And since your protagonist this time didn't have 2 brain cells, and had emotional intelligence as well, meaning they could get hints when people were dropping them, the game was really fun. Granted though, it is a prologue, and considering there's a problem in Xenoblade 2, you can kind of see where things go. And even though the blades are technically immortal, and like the events of the prologue are like 500 years ago, you can assume what happens to the characters who don't pop up later. So, yeah, it's also one of the darkest Xenoblade games, technically. But also, I still love it. And it's, the DLC was just like the 13-2, the 13 of where it just fixed all the problems, and the good parts made them better. And then, like, there's certain questions of, like, I know you were rushed, but why didn't you make, like, the whole game like this? Like, honestly, if they just, like, announced at TGS they were just remaking Xenoblade 2 with the guys who made Torna, I'd be fine. I'd be like, yeah. Also, the voice lines and comedy in that game is on point. Mifra is a simpleton. Simpleton. Such a fun insult. Anyways, I will be going to my peoples. But, I think I have ship art. So I'll find that, and also I'll find part of the
You will be staying here and not going anywhere.
You mean you're not going anywhere?
Ah!
No escape.
I need a hasty attack on
Too slow.
marked point. Check your maps.
Gotcha.
An enemy plane. Enemy aircraft south of your location.
No.
Does Vanita still traumatize you after like 4 runs of 100%ing BBS? Or 300%ing it?
Many, many years later, and I'm still traumatized.
Seriously, I wonder if you like again 100% the game plus the multiple fights against White, Super Boss Ventus, or Vanitas. How many times do you fight Vanitas in Birthright Sleep?
Okay, if you're counting the extra times, let's see. Three, 4. At least 9 times, if you're counting everyone.
God.
If you're counting the additional boss fight, well, Aqua fights him like 4 times in her route alone.
Yeah.
4 or 5 times. Then fights him multiple times. At the end. Twice at the end? Yeah, at least 9 or 10 times if you're counting his additional fight.
And then Terra fights him that one time with the
Yeah, then you get at least 10. If you're counting his additional. He's a boy who doesn't know how to die.
Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
Which is so weird, especially like on like when you start like the first time you fight Vanitas, it's hard. But like the 3rd time you know his moveset. So you're like
You get his
no.
moveset.
He's so
His
strong.
moveset rarely
You can't
changes.
beat him. He's like, this is just Vanitas, guys. He's kind of a punk. We can just finish this here now. Using the darkness, Terra, no. No, I'll have to find it somewhere, but I swore I saw a comic of, like, someone playing Birth by Sleep for the first time, and they drew a comic, and it was like, alright, so it's basically just Terra and Ven running around, and then Aqua running around cleaning up the mess.
Yeah.
Because that is honestly perfect.
He's just cleaning up whatever Terror did.
So, what do you mean your princess is now slept in eternal slumber? Ah, the world is being encroached by darkness by some mysterious dragon. Poor Abba.
There's a boat. It is not a friendly boat.
You see the best character to fight.
Never mind, boat is dead.
Mysterious figure. No longer. Boat is
Titan.
banned.
Titan. Titan.
Anyways, I hit Sumi Hente, but I
No,
also...
you're not.
Well, can I hit Sumi Hente in exchange of ship art?
No.
Okay, well I guess I'll just look ship.
Oh shoot, we were swimming.
Kidding. Bye, Nathan.
Okay. Also, long story short about my rant, I'm replaying Xenoblade 1 and the game is great and I just got the 7th party member, so yeah.
And then I replayed the good version.
Yeah. No, okay. Okay, before I actually go. Like, what happened is, I got Xenoblade 2, because one of my friends really recommended it to me, when I first got my Switch. It was that, Playz Blue, and Smash, because of that. Oh, also Breath of the Wild, but I think I got that later. But, so yeah, I played through, like, the first 2 hours, and it also has 13 syndrome, where, like, you don't get all your characters until you're, like,
You don't get to do
60%
the
away.
fun stuff until you're later.
And you don't
Grenade!
even get
Oh no, I threw the grenade.
super duper powered until, like, you're 80 or 90% of the way through the game.
Yeah, you don't get the fun stuff until later.
Because in Xenoblade 1, like, it doesn't instantly hand it to you, you definitely feel like you earned it, but you get it quite early on, all your cheese abilities. With the exception of some side quest ones, but that's side quests, so... But, what should we call it? Yeah, you get most of the kit you need to deal with all the problems in the game pretty early on. Enemy has Tank Buster, Monado Shield. Enemy has, like, super accuracy and you know, an onslaught of attacks, Monado Speed. You wanna just kill Mechon? Monado Buster, Monado Enchant. Sweet. You wanna stop negative effects or your enemy from getting stronger? Monado Purge. Enemies got buffs, so. Monado Eater. I'm trying to think, I feel like I'm forgetting one.
It's
raining. You wanna
raining.
make, what should we call it? The enemy regret life, Monado Cyclone. You wanna cheese the game? Monado Armor. Who needs cooldowns when you have 75% damage reduction? Woo! God, it's so broken, I love it. Who let me reduce damage by 75%? It's too much!
I lost him! He was right there and I lost him.
Oh, also, remember how I explained the jankiness of Xenoblade 2's combat?
You did.
Some enemies, like, perfectly exploit that by, like, knocking you down so you can't build up gauge. And one of them literally has an ability that resets your special level. So if you were just about to hit the special level 3, or special level 4, the one you really need before your chain attack, Monado Jail! Alright, it's gone now. You can't do that anymore. It's more like the even more dickish version of Chain Break for Caius. I'm just, your progress is gone now. Also, you have no health, die. But anyways, yeah, no, I originally played 2, got like 2 hours in, and I'm like, when does this game start being fun? Rage quitted. And it's like, I also saw the gacha and was like, I don't know, man. So, I rage quitted. Then when they remade the first one on Switch, and I was like, okay, I heard the first one was like really good. Then we replayed it and I was like, god damn it, they were right. But I kind of bored my playthrough by being super underleveled, so that's why I'm replaying it now, under New Game Plus powers. But, whatchamacallit. So then I beat Xenoblade 1, Pingu, because she was in there for that bit, and it was like, you know what? Maybe I was just, like, giving into the bandwagon of hating on Xenoblade 2, because a lot of people just hate it because other people hate it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a fair shot, you know? I've played harder JRPGs, I beat Persona 5, you know? That should be fine. So, pain-inducing. But, fortunately,
One pain
for
train
Sonic
later.
and that, I did get to have the context for Torna, which is a perfect game. Even though it's technically just a DLC, but whatever. And also, I know why we can't get a sequel to Torna, but also I live in denial of that moment every day. So,
I will live in denial.
And Xenoblade X is stuck in Wii U hell, so I know nothing about it, except that some people really like the protag in that game. Go female. But anyways.
Woo! I got a kill.
Mason Shepard.
Bye, Nathan.
See you guys maybe tomorrow, but probably Thursday. So, bye.
Finally gone. Oh no! I meant to do it as a joke, but then I actually... You know, do you think he heard? Tengu? That was like
I'm
really
not
bad.
sure.
I meant to say it as soon as he left, but then he didn't leave. Uh-oh. Crap. Mistakes for me! No, he probably thinks I hate him. I'm walking in the water. Oh! What? Did he hear?
Did
Okay, I was kidding!
I think he heard that. I think he heard you, dude. I think he heard. Oh no. He heard you. He heard you, man.
No. It's not mine. No, just double check. Yeah, that's
Stinky,
mine.
you're
It's
stinky.
not my phone.
You got him.
I have
My cat ate you.
No,
Stinky, you're stinky. Wow, we're even. Everything is even now.
I'm a terrible human being.
You are not.
But I am.
Flies on the ground. Check your map.
No, I almost killed him. But almost. Only comes in horses. Always throwing hand grenades, honey. Puppy, do you hate me? Oh, Mom, we never gave him a bath. Do you hate me? Do you hate me?
Did you kick him in the head?
No, he probably doesn't have enough brain cells. He probably wouldn't survive. He has so many brain cells. Should we see if Mom's gonna give you a bath? Yeah. You're gonna stay with me and never leave. Never leave.
Objective Bravo is neutralized. Anti-tank personnel to your south.
I think taking the bridge will be suicide, but we're gonna take it anyway. Never mind, the bridge is broken.
We've neutralized objective Charlie. Listen up. I spotted the enemy plane just north of your current position. We now have control of objective Charlie.
Mom, are we gonna give him a... Okay, bud. I don't think you're gonna get it back today.
He survived today, but goes down tomorrow.
Much obliged.
I just won't be able to give him a bath.
North of your position.
I just don't know if he'll survive without me.
We have lost control of objective Alpha.
You want to sit with me still? Look, yeah, Cynthia, because you're like forcing me seriously.
You are forcing me, therefore yes.
Yeah, you decided to stay with me? Oh, that's so kind.
We now control objective Echo.
Let me give you a belly. Bell, 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 wah, wah. Bell, 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 bell. Bell, 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 bell.
Belly rubs.
Belly rub,
Or band.
belly, belly rub. Belly, 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 belly rub. Belly rub, belly rub.
You have a fine there, dude?
Belly rub. Belly, 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 belly. Belly rub.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Oh boy, you look tired. Are you tired? I booped your nose, buddy. I booped your nose. I'm going to boop it again. Boop. Oh, but you can move your nose. You can't do that. That's cheating. You can't move your
Snoot
nose.
it if you can. Boop it if you can.
That's cheating. Cheaters never win. Ha! I went above. We won. And I went 12
Did
and
we, though?
9. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I got the flashlight. Isn't that cool? Oh, I leveled up. I've been promoted. I've been promoted. Make up your mind, you want clarity. Let's open up my battle packs.